Welcome back. Well, there's been a significant change in tone from the federal government today on targets for cutting CO2 emissions. Treasurer Josh Frydenberg has today backed the case for net zero emissions by 2050, warning that other countries will punish us if we're not seen to be acting on climate change.
Being part of those global frameworks, being part of those global targets is in Australia's national interest. We very much depend on foreign investors. So I want to make sure that Australia is not disadvantaged by this shift, but to the contrary, that we actually take advantage of this shift. And we're doing that in a number of ways, including more investment in renewable energy consistent with our targets.
And we heard something similar from the Prime Minister in Washington, D.C. as well. Let's bring in One Nation leader Pauline Hanson to get her reaction. Good afternoon to you, Pauline.
Hello, Chris. Hi.
Lovely sunset behind you.
Well, Chris, I can tell you.
You can hear me and see me? Great,
yeah,
fantastic.
It's beautiful.
What's the government told you about the cost of getting to net zero? And do you support Josh Frydenberg's pledge today and his urge for business to do something similar?
Chris, isn't it quite interesting? They've never really committed to a 2050. They said we've signed up with the Paris Agreement. We're well ahead of our targets. We're doing extremely well. We were not going to destroy our businesses. It was for us to actually run our country. Isn't it funny now? All of a sudden, Josh Frydenberg comes out now and he says, oh, well, by 2050, we're actually going to have net zero. On the back of the deal with Australia, United Kingdom and United States on the submarine deal. So was this part of it? Were they actually had to sign up to this on the back of having that deal with the submarine deal? So that's where my head's at. That's what I'm thinking.
I think you might be absolutely correct, because there is a major change and it's only happened since we signed that pact. His argument is, though, that overseas investment and finance will bypass Australia if we don't show some kind of commitment. That's what he says.
Oh, look, Chris, most of our revenue that we actually get from into the country comes from our resource exports. Okay, so it's uranium, it's iron ore, coal, and our agricultural sector as well. Agriculture consists of about 14% of our emissions, that we carbon emissions. Now, if we cut back on the resources and we actually don't export, we are not going to be able to pay our bills. That's what props up the states. So I'd like to know, how the hell are they going to do this? They talk about investment. They've spent billions of dollars of people who have gone into the renewables industry, and it is an industry, Chris. They've paid out billions of taxpayers' dollars. The cost of electricity has risen. Yep. You know, households can't afford it anymore. Businesses are going. Manufacturing industry is shutting down. So I like to know where they think they're going to get the money from if they keep heading down this track. See, the Paris Agreement that we've signed, countries are treated differently under how they're supposed to address the Paris Agreement. It's not an equal playing field.
Yeah, you're right there. It is not an equal playing field, and most of the other countries have some kind of carbon tax in force. If the government says, no, we won't go down the track of carbon tax, which is what Josh Frydenberg said today, what do you think he needs to do to try and focus on paying off the debt, create opportunities for the next generation, because we are in all sorts of dire straits at the moment?
Chris, we've got to actually build up our industries and manufacturing. I've been saying this for years because we've been reliant on too much of imports coming in from overseas, and we've destroyed our own industries and manufacturing jobs that for Australians here as well. We've got too many people on welfare handouts. We have to rein that back in. You're looking at $180 billion a year in welfare payments that we pay out to people in Australia. So get people back into the workforce. Don't rely on other countries' imports coming into Australia. We can do it, but you have to have the will. We've got the ground here, we've got the soil, but they're too busy selling it off to foreign multinationals and national interest to buy up our agricultural sector. Look at our dairy industry. It's all but foreign owned. We've done that so often, and the government keeps opening it up because they don't have the answers how to get the money going here, how to make our economy turn over, so they actually call for foreign investment, which is, in the end, they don't pay taxes here. That's the problem, Chris. The multinationals don't pay their fair share of tax, and I've been saying this for the last 25 years.